Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Kitty Benson, the minister here at Unity in Naperville. And although we are not at Unity this morning, we are all around the world with our live stream. So I'm so glad that you're taking the time to meet with us. Us is myself and Kim-Char Meredith. Kim, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Kitty. Hi,
It's
everybody.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
I
I'm not
know. I
kidding.
love
This
it.
technology, you got to love it. And we definitely want to thank our technology extraordinaire operator, Parker Meredith, who you won't see today, but is making this all possible for us.
Yeah,
So send
thanks,
him some
Parker.
love. And if you've never been with us before, we're so glad that you're here with us. We like to get together every Sunday morning and just open up our hearts and minds to the divine presence within us and all around us, and find ways that we can connect and express that presence. So thank you for making the time. Kim, do you have anything you want to share before we start meditation?
No, I just love seeing everyone here on the chat, even now. So they're raring to go, Kitty.
Great. Well, let's get started. Normally, in our 9 o'clock service, we have a 15-minute meditation at the beginning. So, we're going to take time right now to just center in and feel that deep connection to spirit. I'll just invite Parker to turn on some nice music. And why don't you just join with me by taking a deep breath, closing your eyes. Hopefully, you're in a comfortable space, and wherever you are, it's a sacred space. We take a moment to feel that connection, that the very breath of our life moving through our body right now is the breath of spirit. We know we can never be separate from God. And so, as we take another deep breath, just release any tension that might be in the way of your communion with spirit this morning. Hopefully, you woke up refreshed this morning, but if not, this is a time to feel that energy restored. Get comfortable wherever you're sitting. One more deep breath. Feeling our shoulders drop. And as we begin to relax our body, the tension melts away. We center our thoughts at our heart space. Just imagine your attention or your thoughts are dropping down into your heart, where we feel a connection to spirit, as if a door is opening. And we are completely connected with the divine. We allow our breath to return to its natural rhythm, keeping our thoughts at the center of our being. Feeling both our human heartbeat and the spiritual heart within us of perfect love. We thank you, sweet spirit, that in this quiet space, we are one with all that is good in our lives, beginning with the very presence of life in our bodies, heart within us. Allow yourself to feel that humming energy of life flowing through your body as the presence of divine life. sensing that pure and perfect Spirit of God, alive and thriving in every cell of our bodies. From the center of our heart to the top of our head and the tip of our toes, we feel the divine light of Spirit flowing, thriving, renewing, and refreshing every atom and molecule of this home that we live in, our human body. Grateful to know that this life energy of God is perfect and whole. And as we keep our attention on that presence of Spirit, we know that life energy is doing its perfect work, not just in our own body, but in every human on the planet, on all life. All life on the planet is alive with the life of God. We imagine that light of perfect and pure energy lighting up every being around the earth with health and well-being. We sense that divine light expanding, providing that the very light energy of God is also our provision of every need. And in this quiet moment, we release all fear of limitation and see that divine light becoming the things that we need, providing every resource. It is the very source of our good. We see the human race relaxing, knowing there is enough, for God is enough, and God's light becomes our supply as we simply say, yes, thank you. We see that divine light filling our mind with new ideas. The light bulb, the aha, goes off within us. We know what to do in every circumstance, for divine light is our guide. We thank you, Spirit, that we can rest and know. We simply ask and it is given. We simply seek and we find. For the mind of God dwells within us with every answer. Thank you, God. And we know this presence of light as the harmonizing power of love in our life. We feel that love causing all relationships to work together for good. We feel that love drawing us heart to heart. The light of God working for love causes our hearts to open and renew, to give of our love to others, to draw love to us, for this divine light is everywhere present. We relax and take another deep breath, breathing in that light of God, the pure and perfect nourishment of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our supply. Knowing that there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. It is the all-loving goodness of God. Let's take another deep breath as we return to this room and open our eyes. And I'll ask Parker to show those words on the screen. These words that remind us of the truth that always is. We speak them together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is. I'm going to invite Kim-Char to draw us into some music, knowing that the harmony of love is also the harmony of our music. Kim, can you hear me? All right. Well, I just thought I asked her to sing this song today because it's a topic that we'll be focusing on. And just open your minds, especially if you've already heard the song. I'm going to ask you to pretend like you're hearing it for the first time. As you sing along, let these words come from your heart.
I accept my perfection, perfection shaped by Spirit's hand, and I embrace my wholeness. In my wholeness, here I stand. Healing is remembering. Healing is remembering. Healing is
Beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you,
so it is.
Kim-Char.
You're welcome.
She and I have been working pretty closely since we got banished to our homes. And one of the things that you may have seen on the internet is a prayer. We actually did a healing service through our live stream a few days ago. And part of that healing service was praying for essential workers. And those essential workers, Kim took that part of the prayer and she put some photographs of essential workers and all that they're going through right now. And she put that as a little inspirational video up on Facebook. And it's only like 3 minutes or so. But it turns out that I think as of today, it's been seen over 22,000 times. So I think that's what you might call viral. And people are commenting in other languages. I'm starting to get friend requests from Uganda and Nepal and India and all over the world. And I'm thinking it's because they're seeing this video. And it's obvious from their responses that we all care so much for our essential workers and all that they're doing for us. They are a blessing for us. And I started thinking about what an essential worker is. And there's a description of it in the Essential Services Act from 2013 that said an essential worker is someone that performs work involving the safety of human life and the protection of property. Big job, right? So these people are on the front lines, and essential workers are maintaining the health and welfare of the municipality. It says without these services, sickness, poverty, violence, and chaos would likely result. That's from the Pan American Health Organization. Some of those essential services that they're offering have everything to do with government, fire, police, communication, sanitation, clean water, being able to stay in communication with one another, and food was on the list. I was surprised at how far down it was on the list. But just, making sure that we have transportation available to us, that the roads are still operating, the banks are still open. These are what the essential workers are focusing on, and they are making an heroic effort to provide what we need during this time. They're scrambling, they're working long hours. They're trying to find supplies to be able to do their job. Restaurants are offering food, sometimes at no cost, maybe to their peril. They don't seem to care. They're willing to go out of business to make sure that people have food. And yet, if you listen to the news, it would sound like we're not making much headway, that there are still people losing their jobs and their income, that we're still struggling to find beds and masks and respirators, that there seems to be the number of sick and also the dying seem to be rising. We haven't found a cure yet. We're having a hard enough time just getting tests. And while the essential workers are trying to work in that situation, the non-essential workers are home feeling helpless, not being able to make a change here. But the goal has been to try and what they call flatten the curve. If you've been watching the news, the curve has been created, predicted through math and through science, which I'm all for. I understand its need, and it's helping them to kind of predict where things might go. And I would also offer today that I'm feeling like I actually hear Albert Einstein's quote in the back of my mind, that when he said, you're trying to solve the problem, or you can't solve the problem at the level of thinking that created it. And it also made me think of the Apostle Paul when he said, now we're seeing through a glass darkly. We're not yet seeing this from the highest point of view. And as Kim and I were talking about this video for essential workers, she came up with this term, we need essential light workers. And I thought, that is it. That is where we need to go. That is what I'm calling every single one of you into as you're watching today. That's your job. You are no longer just at home with nothing to do but twiddle your thumbs. You are being given a job, and I'm going to explain it to you here today. First of all, without the essential light workers, when we're just depending on our essential workers, we're only really getting half the story here. I know that many of you have seen those awareness ribbons that people wear. I think one of the first ones that came out was red. It was probably to make us aware of the AIDS virus. So there's one up here on the screen here. I pulled one up that's purple. And what I would offer to you is that symbol is actually only half the story. It's not giving us all that we have available to us. If you turn that symbol on its side, you'll see that it's incomplete. It's struggling. It's wanting to complete itself to a scene that looks like this. It's a symbol for infinity. That's what I know is the potential in this, is that we stop focusing just on the problem and start bringing in our attention on the infinite. We don't have to be bound by the algorithms. I understand their use and their need, but there needs to also be a focus on the infinite. You know, science and the Bible would both say that infinite life, that we experience life in this universe, but it began as light. And light is infinite. We would say that light in unity, we would say that divine light is really the essence of all that is. And our opportunity here is to become essential light workers so that we give our attention to God and not the problem in this. That's how we are going to overcome more quickly. That's how we are going to supply every need. You know, in the Bible, the name for God is light. In the book of First John, it says that God is light and in him is no darkness. And you might be looking at the news right now and thinking, okay, I'm not seeing the light, Kitty. Where is it? It's easy for light to be smothered when we give our attention to fear and stress and conflict and shortage. So I'm asking you to remember that that divine light is always present within us. That not only is it the nature of God, but as we were taught in the book of Genesis, you and I were made in the image of God. And that our spiritual nature is also light. Jesus told us that you are the light of the world. Then he told us that we should be perfect as God is perfect. And he was not talking about that human part of ourselves, but he was talking about the light within us, that we should focus our attention on our spirit nature, on the wholeness of God, the wholeness of light. Focus on that, not on the darkness. You know, when I go back to that scripture where Jesus said that you are the light of the world in Matthew 5, there's a translation of it I want you to read up here on the screen. It says, you are here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. Isn't that awesome? Why don't you read that with me? You are here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. So yes, we need our essential workers, and they are focused on finding masks to treat the sick, finding more beds to treat the sick. But also we need the essential light workers who are focused on revealing our true essence, where our true life is, to see us as light. Something that was written by Sanea Roman I'm sorry, not Sanea Roman, but from Charles Fillmore, who happens to be one of our co-founders of Unity. He wrote a book that was so forward thinking called The Atom Smashing Power of Mind. And he said, we must stop calling the body flesh and blood and see it as it is in spirit mind, pure and incorruptible. When our views of humankind are elevated to spiritual understanding, we shall begin to express bodily perfection. We must arise to the conscious realization that every thought of mind, every atom of body, every molecule of being, every function of nature, and every force is divine. And that all of these do and shall vibrate to the harmonies of spirit. That's exciting to think of it that way, to realize, yes, we're human, and yes, human bodies can get sick, but at the same time, we are light. And while the essential workers are busy addressing as the definition of essential services talked about it, or workers, it talked about how they're addressing sickness and poverty and violence and chaos. Parker, could we see that slide up on the screen? We're going to compare. Our essential workers are looking at sickness and poverty and violence and chaos. Our essential light workers need to be focusing on life, supply, love, and wisdom, all divine qualities. So we're going to go through those today and just see how we can bring life and supply and love and wisdom into the work of the essential workers. We're going to have their back. Are you in this with me? Let's start with life. Our essential workers are highly focused on the sick right now. They're trying to protect them, to restore their well-being. And while they're focused on the sick, I want you and I to focus as essential light workers on life. God light, everywhere present, expresses as life energy, just like we were walking through in our meditation this morning. God light expresses as life. It's perfect, it's whole, it's renewing, it's vibrant, it's vital, it's energetic, it's health in our bodies. It is always present, even in the midst of the illness, is the allness of life. So imagine that light energy of God expressing in our bodies as life. That's what an essential light worker is being asked to do. Now I'm going to share with you from Sanea Roman in her book, Spiritual Growth. Up on the screen, here's her quote. Light is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. You might think of light as a living presence that can be anywhere or everywhere at once. Light responds to your thought of it. As you think of light more often, you will become charged with light, building a radiant body of light all around you. The more light your body can hold, the higher your vibration and the greater your ability to transform the energy around you into a higher order. Isn't that exciting? I'm asking you to visualize this light as the presence that fills your body, that it strengthens your body, and see that light energy dissolving all fear, dissolving all presence of disease, raising every cell to the presence of pure and perfect life and well-being that God is and always is within our being. Imagine that light being contagious. See it first in your own body, and as a light worker, you then release it and imagine it spreading and filling every being on the planet. Just imagine it being contagious, that people are susceptible to your spreading of the light so that they too feel a sense of renewal and energy. Here's an affirmation up here on the screen that I'm going to ask you to look at and say with me, an opportunity for us to speak these words of light and life into the universe, into the collective consciousness, into every heart and mind and body in the world. Let's say these words together. Divine light flows through us now as a stream of vibrant life, revealing our natural well-being. Secondly, our essential workers are busy trying to fill the gap with needs, supplying needs like masks and respirators. They're focused on shortage right now and struggling against shortage. What I'm asking you to do as an essential light worker is put your attention on supply. God is our supply. God light is actually the essence of energy that fills heaven and earth. You know, I would say we think, just like science does, that this universe is a field, a single field of energy. And we see that field of energy as light everywhere present. So it's an infinite supply. And what we do with that supply of light is we form and fashion it with our thoughts, with our faith, with our imagination, with our feelings. So I'm going to ask you to begin to see that divine light. Ask, and it is given. See that light forming into what is needed right now around the world. Seeing that everyone has what they need in the moment. That the income the food, the supplies that are needed in the medical world, all are being provided for. For we, as essential light workers, are here putting our attention on divine light, knowing that everything that we use, that we eat, that we live with, is born from this divine light. And as we give it our attention, it becomes that. So you, as an essential light worker, are closing the gap on that awareness ribbon and turning it into an infinite symbol of supply. Here's an affirmation up on the screen that we can speak together to remind us that this light is our supply. Together, divine light pours through our lives as an infinite supply of good. Take a breath into that. Breathe in that light, feel it at your fingertips, know that it's available to us to fill every need. Okay, our essential workers are busy fighting division and judgment right now. There's a lot of back and forth about who deserves what, who's going to get what, and there's that energy and tension of conflict among us. While they're trying to deal with that, let's get their backs for them and be essential light workers focused on love. God light is the presence of love. It expresses itself as a force that harmonizes and works everything together for the highest and best of everyone involved. Divine love actually causes our bodies to rise up and work together in harmony. So one of the things an essential light worker can do is be focused on the presence of love in your body. You might actually want to send it love. One of the things that Richard and Mary Alice Jaffola wrote in their book, Adventures on the Quest, your body has a need to feel loved. Up here on the screen, let's look at that, Parker. Your body has a need to feel loved. Regularly blessing your organs, tissues, and cells motivates them to perform as they were created and designed to perform. Love breaks whatever pattern it was following to follow a new design. Let's just close our eyes for a moment. Breathe in a feeling of love for this body. You might even want to wrap your arms around yourself and feel yourself loving this body. You might even want to say aloud, I love you, body. And go down from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, sending love and gratitude to every part of your body that you can name. That has the power. That is the light of God expressing as love, to raise ourselves to its natural sense of well-being. It's now in alignment with the energy, the vibration, the frequency of spirit, the frequency of life. And also, we want to direct that energy of love toward every relationship that's happening right now on the planet, and allow that divine energy to work for good. See that energy. It may be a force of light, but it's carrying the power of love with it. And it's opening people's hearts to one another. I know I have seen that so much since this all began, that people are being much more loving and giving to one another. But let's especially direct it towards our essential workers, that love presents itself to them everywhere they turn, that they are constantly being met with love, and that love is harmonizing their thoughts and their relationships and their activities for good. Here's an affirmation up here on the screen for love. I'm asking our essential light workers to own these words in their being. Let's say it together. Divine light warms our hearts with love and works all things together for good. And finally, let's talk about how the essential workers may be facing chaos right now, where, doctors and scientists are trying to find a cure. They're trying to find at least a treatment. They're trying to find ways to keep people alive. They're trying to find space to be able to do that in. There may seem to be chaos all around them where they just don't know how to think straight. I know just being in this energy that surrounds the planet right now, where we're all kind of up in arms, that chaos is a feeling right down to the molecule in your bodies and in your minds. And so what I'm asking our essential light workers to do is see that divine light expressing not as chaos, but as wisdom, understanding, divine ideas, creativity. This is an opportunity for the divine mind to show us things that we've never seen before, things that will heal, things that will renew, things that will cause abundant prosperity to flow freely through the land. Our power of wisdom and creativity are part of our spiritual nature all the time. We just need to know how to tap into it. Our other co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, wrote that anything up here on the screen, anything which does not measure up to the Christ pattern of perfection, to the God pattern of perfection, can be changed by the understanding application of the power of spiritual thought. God in the midst of you is the one healing power in the universe. Spiritualize your thinking and find the way to permanent healing. The body is the fruit of the mind. That is so powerful to know that our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs can have an effect on everything that's happening in our world. It's not just our bodies, but our activities, our resources. We need to call in the light into our thoughts. And essential light workers are being called to dissolve these thoughts, these diseased thoughts, these thoughts of fear with thoughts of light. It's that aha moment. It's that light bulb going off over your head when you tap into that divine wisdom. And written in 2 Timothy, God has not given us a spirit of fearfulness, but one of power and of love and of sound judgment. That's what divine light can be for us. Our new ideas, clear thinking, creative ideas. And it's an opportunity for us to focus on that divine mind within us, to release order in the world, to create a sense of peace in people's thoughts and hearts, to use that sense of wisdom and understanding to bring harmony into what is happening around us. Efficient thoughts, thoughts of solution. That's what's available to us when we realize that that God light is God thinking, God wisdom, God understanding. Let's speak this last affirmation together up here on the screen. Divine light inspires our minds with healing solutions and creative ideas. What a potential we have as essential light workers to fill a role that transforms sickness into life, that transforms the shortages all around us into divine substance that supplies our every need. Our essential workers are being called to say, let there be light in our relationships and bringing forth that harmonizing power of love. It's an opportunity for us as light workers to call forth the divine thoughts that will guide every thought, every action, every decision that we make. That is the role of an essential light worker. I'm asking you to step into it today. One last thought from Charles Fillmore, excuse me, up here on the screen. He says, the life source is spiritual energy. It is deeper and finer than electricity of human magnetism or human magnetism. It's composed of ideas, and we can turn on its current by making mental union with it. Divine light is awaiting your direction. Will you see it? Everywhere present. Will you send it where there is a need? Will you use divine light to transform darkness into light? And we will see if you will join me in this. If we can get 22,000 people in just a few days to pray with us online, imagine how many people we can get to focus on this idea of light around the world, healing, restoring, relaxing, bringing peace, providing every resource needed. That is the call. Will you, as an essential light worker, step into that role? Will you, as it said in the chapter of Matthew, chapter 5, bring out the God colors in a world asking for your help? I hope you say yes. It's a job. It's a job that requires your attention and your willingness. Let's turn our thoughts now, closing our eyes for a moment and just bringing our attention to that presence of light within us. And we thank you, Spirit, in this moment of pure provision and light, that we may know all of our needs are being met in this moment. We cast aside all thoughts of darkness, all feelings of fear, and we rest instead in this light-filled presence of peace. This light-filled presence of life and love. We commit our hearts and minds in these days that come to communion with the divine mind, with the divine heart, with divine light, allowing that presence and power to work all things together for our highest good. We know that this is available to us, and now we allow it to be. Amen. I'm going to invite you in this moment to share in our tithes and love offerings. It's an opportunity for you to release light into the world. Just trust that the light that you share through your gifts is more than creating this space that we have here together, but it is the message, it is the words, it's the thoughts of unity that we are sending out into the world that your gifts are supporting. And we offer an opportunity for you to give online. There will be a button at the bottom of your screen where you can donate through your credit or debit card. We also have an address that you can mail checks to, which is P.O. Box 9733, Naperville, Illinois, 60567. And before we do anything in giving, I want you to help us bless these gifts, to empower them to be all that they can be. Our blessing is up here on the screen. Let's see that, Parker. Let's speak this together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. Thank you for your gifts. And as you're giving this morning, I'm going to invite Kim-Char to share a video with us that she put together with Shelley Seibert a while ago, but I actually think it's perfect for today and for today's message. Let's take a listen and a watch.
Oh, you're looking good.
Oh, nice,
So way to go.
nice.
Okay.
Much better, much better.
That's it.
Here we go. Yeah. Where the lady says it's gonna rain. You know what, Shelley? What? I don't think so. Where the man says hunker down. Yeah, I don't think so. Don't you know I control the weather? Whether or not I have myself a good day. Don't you know I control the weather? And today I call for a beautiful day. Yeah! Forecast is clear skies, gentle breeze. gentle breeze and their sweet eye. Don't you know I control the weather? The weather or not, I have myself a good day. Don't you know I control the weather? And today it's gonna be a spectacular day. I control the weather inside. Whether I choose to boldly love or let fearful thoughts cloud my sky. Woo! Yes, forecast is clear skies and gentle breeze and a sweet high. Don't you know I control the weather? The weather or not, I have myself a good day. Well, don't you know I control the weather? And today it's gonna be an amazing day.
I love that. I love that. Kim, can you hear me?
I can.
You guys are just not only adorable in that, but I so love the clever lyrics and the absolute truth in those lyrics. What was behind that? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I was literally on vacation somewhere in a cabin in the woods, waiting to go out, and it was forecast to be a beautiful day. The morning came and it was storming outside, and I could do nothing. I started grumbling and complaining, but then I went out on the porch with that brand new dulcimer I had picked up the day before, and instead decided I control what kind of day I was going to have. I control the weather or not, right? So I started just writing. That's where that came from.
Beautiful, beautiful. True too for the light of God, that it's waiting for our guidance. So beautiful.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take a little time here this morning to just share some events that are coming up. Believe it or not, we're still doing things at Unity in Naperville. We're just doing it online now. So if you were able to reach us today through our website, hey, by the way, hey to all those on Facebook Live, in case this is working, we're combining them together today, kind of as a test run. So we'll see how that works, and hopefully we've gathered some new friends today. And if you're able to find us at unityinnaperville.org, we're going to have several things coming up. But I wanted to share, first of all, that I was contacted by someone on our Aurora City Council asking us to, as a church, remind our congregants to fill out your census. The government is asking that. It's Census Sunday. They're saying, please make sure you take the time to fill out your census. You should have gotten something in the mail that guides you to fill it out online. It took, just a few seconds on my end. So I'm highly recommending that you do that. If not, then they'll have to send you another one that you fill out in the mail. So I hope you'll take time to do that. Also, I wanted to let you know that this coming Wednesday, April 1st, we have a healing service that's going to happen at 7 o'clock online. Sharon Jebsky, one of our chaplains, is going to be joining me in that. So we will be streaming that service like we're doing right now. And there's an opportunity for you to email your prayer requests in advance to prayer@unityinnaperville.org. Or that evening, as you're watching, just like you can do right now with the comments at the bottom of the screen, you could comment your prayer requests, or you can text me, and I'll be giving out that text number that night. Secondly, that is Thursday, we have our prayer chaplains holding a conference call on the phone. So if you don't want to mess around with the computer, just pick up your phone and call the phone number. We have it up here on the screen for you. It's too small for me to be able to read, but we'll also have it on our website, unityinnaperville.org. So you can call that phone number. It's going to be going out in our e-news on Tuesday. So if you haven't signed up for our e-news, make sure you do that on our website. And the prayer call is just an opportunity for our chaplains to pray with you, to offer some meditative readings, and then just give you a chance to check in and see how you're doing. So that's Thursday at 7:15 p.m. On Saturday, I'm inviting those of you who feel like Unity in Naperville has become your spiritual home to attend a membership class with me. It's your chance to just find out what it is about to become a member of Unity. You'll hear a little bit about our history, about our spiritual principles that we teach, about how Unity in Naperville got formed, where we're headed, what it means to be a member. So there's no commitment involved. You can just attend the class. It is 3 hours. It's a one-time class that everyone goes through that becomes a member. And we will be doing that through a webinar format. So you go back to unityinnaperville.org and you'll see the link to the member class on Saturday, April 4th. It starts at 9:30. Bring snacks because we'll be there for a while. And also, if you're planning on running for our Board of Trustees, even if you're not a member, this is your chance to start by coming to the membership class and then running for election, which we'll talk about later. So on April 7th then, which is a Tuesday at 7 p.m., I will be offering a Wayne Dyer class based on his book, Wishes Fulfilled. And we're going to offer it twice a week, 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, every other week, or Saturday mornings at 9:30 every other week. And that too will be in a webinar format, Unity Community Connect. So you can go to unityinnaperville.org to find your connection to that. And we'll be able to see each other on the screen. We'll be able to hear each other and share our thoughts about the book as we go. So check out the dates again in our e-news this week and on unityinnaperville.org. Also, Kim, we've got something coming up next Sunday that I want you to talk about. Will you share a little bit about that?
Yes, indeed. But I want to make a comment, just listening to all your announcements there. We have just as much planned as we had previously. It's just in a different format. It's crazy. What a list. Anyway, I do have a special announcement. Of course, we will be back next Sunday for the morning service. And at that time, Kitty will be sharing a special message titled Between Us, inspired by the song Between Us by our friend Denise Rosier. Many of you remember her from the Heart of Praise concert that we did together here. And we can all be part of next Sunday's morning service. And here's how. We'll be putting together a special video of the song, and you can contribute in the following ways. 1, go ahead and download from our website or our Unity Community Connect site the Love is Alive coloring page and be creative. I don't care if it's crayons, pencils, watercolors. You can bedazzle it. That would be kind of cool.
Ooh, fun,
Bedazzle
glitter.
your page. And then go ahead, snap a nice picture of it with your camera phone and send it to us. And you'll have instructions on the website. We're going to incorporate all that artwork into the video we're making. Or you can submit a video. Actually, it's not either or. You can also submit, not a video, but a photo of yourself at home with your pets, with the family that you're staying at home with, but submit that your smiling faces and we'll add that to the video as well. And then finally, a third way to contribute is that you can sing along with the song. And if you go to the link that we provide, you'll see how easily you can do that just from your computer with a built-in microphone. Easy peasy. But here's the trick. The deadline is April 3rd. Is that the Friday?
Yes.
I think it is. That gives us time to put the video and all the pictures and all the sound together and have it prepared for Sunday. Now, doesn't that sound swell? Now, are you nodding? Yes, you are. It
I'm
sounds
nodding.
well. You're nodding, Kitty. So please join us. Be part of next week's service by being part of the Between Us Song Project.
And Kim, there's so much going on that starts at unityinnaperville.org. Would you just can you run through the list of what they can plug into?
There's so many ways to stay in contact. As you know, we have the new Community Connect, unitycommunityconnect.com, our chat boards that are being integrated into our website. As you know, it's unityinnaperville.org. That's a great
Parker,
way.
do we have a slide for that we could see?
Yeah, that would be a great way to stay in touch. We also have the Facebook page. If I think
There
you can
should
just
be a
type in
list.
Unity in
Keep going,
Naperville,
Parker.
and it
Keep
should say
going.
Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find the previous Sunday messages, inspirational videos, and we're going to be putting up even more and more as we go along. So website, Community Connect, Facebook, YouTube. And I guess we can do it the old-fashioned way if you want to stay in contact with someone. Just give them a ring.
Yes. You can make donations on the website. You can reach out to me on the website. You can add your name to the e-news. There's just all kinds of things. So that really is the best place to start, is unityinnaperville.org. I know a lot of this stuff is new and it might seem intimidating, but just play around with it. You can't break it. So just play around with it and see what happens for you. And I think what you'll find is that you are just as connected as you have been with us here at Unity. I hope you'll take that in. Parker, can we have the slide up that has the phone number? Because I just want to, before we close the service, and we'll have our closing affirmation and another song here today. When we're done, like last week, we're going to give you a chance to either text in your questions or comments about today, or you can use the video chat. But right now here on the screen is the text number that you can, oh my gosh, let me see, somewhere around here, I know what this is. It's 630-793-0993. 630-793-0993. That's the text number to send me your questions or comments about today. And let's just take a moment before we go there to recenter ourselves in our thought for today. This is our closing affirmation up here on the screen. I'll make sure I can actually see it too. I'm waiting for Parker. There we go. All right. So let's take a breath. Feel that divine light moving in and through us. And let's say these words together. We are essential light workers. Are you ready? Here we go. Divine light flows freely through me as life, love, supply, and creativity. I choose to be an essential light worker. I hope that you'll sign up for that. Kim, will you lead us in the last song?
Indeed. I love that. We are all essential light workers. So let's bring it. Let's bring it. Life, supply, love, wisdom. Words should be up on the screen for you. Out of the dark I come. Into the light, into the blazing sun. And eyes open wide, awakening to love's plan. I was born to be the child of I am. Let's sing that first verse again. Out of the dark I come. Into the light, into the blazing sun. Eyes open wide, awakening to love's plan. I was born to be the child of I am. Yeah. Arise. dark I'd come. Into the light, into the blazing sun. Eyes open wide, awakening to love's plan. I was born to be the child of I am. The singer I shine, arise, shine, for the light has come. Arise, shine, for the light has come, and the glory of love has risen. And the glory of love has risen. And the glory of love has risen within you. Arise, shine, for the light has come. Arise, shine, for the light has come, and the glory of love has risen. The glory of love has risen. The glory of love has risen within you. Yes, go
Woohoo!
forth, essential light workers.
Yay! Thank you, Kim-Char. Awesome. Okay, my darlings, we love you guys. We'll see you next time. And next Sunday, play with us if you can. Go to unityinnaperville.org to be a part of the
Between
Us
Us project.
project. And just keep checking our calendar to see what's coming up next, because there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Love, love, love you. Be an essential light worker this week. See you next time.
Love you. Bye-bye.